welcome to FindTheShoreHome.tv. My name is Ian Lazarus, and I'm your host today. And we're going to be talking about mortgages with John Coneys. Welcome to the show, John.
Thanks, Ian. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me here.
Great. Well, it's good to see you down here in Seattle City, and we know that you have a place down here.
Yeah, for a number of years.
And hopefully you'll be able to get down here soon with your family, as soon as the snow is over. We're going to talk about the basics right now, and the biggest question I'm getting right now is, how much money do you need to put down for a second home?
Second home, you're still looking, for the most part, 20%. There are definitely some programs out there that could be less, going as little as 10% down. Most buyers I talk to are usually looking to put 20% or more. But again, there are some options out there at 10%, and more than likely, as the market continues to stabilize, you might see those options come to life even more. We might be able to do as little as 10% down.
That's great. And a lot of people are concerned about credit scores because through this whole mortgage debacle, if you want to call it, they've tightened up their rules.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Yes, there is, over the last couple of years, the credit scores impact your interest rate potentially, and they also impact your options as far as what programs are available to you. So in buying second homes, you're typically looking at a 620 credit score or higher. If you are getting PMI, where you are finding a program out there where you're putting down less than 20%, you're looking at a 680 or 700 score or higher, is what your options are. That is different. Several years ago, you could have had a lower credit score. The credit score criteria has definitely tightened up a little bit over the last couple of years.
Are you finding that the FICO score has changed at all? Are they more tight on the ratios?
What you have a double question there, but what you're finding again on credit scores is that your credit scores can range between 350 and 850. There are 3 credit bureaus out there: Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. The lenders use the middle of the 3 credit scores. Sometimes people think that the average, we don't. We actually use the middle of the 3 scores. That being said, what we do see a lot is you have people that you might have a blemish on their credit report, or they might have some credit cards where the balances and limits are very close to each other, and their score might be in the mid-6s, for argument's sake. And since it impacts their interest rate, there are some easier ways to get that score up a little bit at times, and they should definitely talk to the lender about that, because there are times where if you were to pay down some of the balance on the credit card and get that balance not to be as close to the limit on that credit card, you might find your score to pop up a little bit. Mm-hmm. We've had scenarios where that has moved a lot, especially if you're someone that has 2 or 3 credit cards that fall into that criteria.
Right.
It happens. People can work with that, and the difference today versus a number of years ago is the perception by consumers is it could take 60 or 90 days for that to kind of work its way through and affect their credit score, and that's not necessarily the case anymore. It can happen literally in weeks to a month in certain situations where your credit score can be impacted very favorably in a relatively quick time period.
Well, we only have a couple of seconds left for this segment, so if there's anything particular you'd like to say in regards to either credit scores or a helpful tip for consumers.
Yeah, if a buyer wants to go out or they think they want to look at some houses, they want to get back in that game and get their house, when they talk to the lender, they should get their credit report run right away and go through the credit report with the lender to see where and if there are possibilities where they can get that credit score to be risen within a reasonable period of time. Right. Because quite often it can absolutely happen that way.
Great. Well, I really appreciate you coming in. Yep. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.